Prophetic indeed. Welcome to 3 Things You Can Use, where Maddie and I analyze the worlds of lifestyle and entrepreneurship through books, 3 things at a time. This week's book is The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. And excuse me if the sound quality or the video seems different in any way, because my webcam is broken, so I rigged up the phone in place of the webcam. I'll show you a picture. Amazon describes this book as being one of the most beloved classics of our time. Published in 1923, it has been translated into more than 20 languages, and the American editions alone have sold more than 9 million copies. The Prophet is a collection of poetic essays that are philosophical, spiritual, and above all, inspirational. Gibran's musings are divided into 28 chapters, covering such sprawling topics as love, marriage, children, giving, eating and drinking, and so on, for 28 different things. This book is 96 pages hardcover and 1 hour, 14 minutes audible. And for this book, I'm going to read you my 3 favorite passages from the book and give you interpretations. Number 1. Work. You work that you may keep pace with the earth and the soul of the earth. For to be idle is to become a stranger unto the seasons, and to step out of life's procession that marches in majesty and proud submission towards the infinite. When you work, you are a flute through whose heart the whispering of hours turns to music. Which of you would be a reed, dumb and silent, when all else sings together in unison? Always you have been told that work is a curse and labor a misfortune. But I say to you that when you work, you fulfill a part of earth's furthest dream, assigned to you when the dream was born. And in keeping yourself with labor, you are in truth loving life. And to love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. So what he's saying here is that loving work and working with love is a solution to life. That everyone has to work, and those who don't put effort into their work, or those who sarcastically do their work, will never be living at their best and loving life. And he goes on to say, but I say, not in sleep, and not in the overwakefulness of noontide, that the wind speaks not more sweetly to the giant oaks than to the least of all of the blades of grass. Which is to say, that the job you do doesn't matter. Whether you're a heart surgeon or a janitor, the job isn't what matters. Loving your job and working at your best is. Number 2, joy and sorrow. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Is not the cup that holds your wine the very cup that was burned in the potter's oven? And is not the lute that soothes your spirit the very wood that was hollowed by knives? When you are joyous, look deep into your heart, and you shall find it is only that which has given you sorrow that is giving you joy. When you are sorrowful, look again in your heart, and you shall see that in truth you are weeping for that which has been your delight. Some of you say, joy is greater than sorrow, and others say, nay, sorrow is the greater. But I say unto you, they are inseparable. Together they come, and when one sits alone with you at your board, remember that the other is asleep upon your bed. So, a life with no sorrow is a life with no joy. There is no one without the other, and the deeper one goes, the deeper the other can go. Living without sorrow is living without joy, and a life at baseline is a life with neither. Number 3, reason and passion. Your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion and your appetite. Would that I could be the peacemaker in your soul, that I might turn the discord and rivalry of your elements into oneness and melody. But how shall I, unless you yourselves also be the peacemakers, nay, the lovers of all of your elements? Your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. If either your sails or your rudder be broken, you can but toss and drift, or else be held at a standstill in mid-seas. For reason, ruling alone, is a force confining, and passion, unattended, is a flame that burns to its own destruction. Therefore let your soul exalt your reason to the height of passion, that it may sing, and let it direct your passion with reason, that your passion may live through its own daily resurrection, and like the phoenix rise above its own ashes. Would you consider your judgment and your appetite even as you would two loved guests in your house? Surely you would not honor one guest above the other, for he who is more mindful of one loses the love and the faith of both. He's talking about playing into your dreams here. Ignoring your dreams and being completely rational and reasonable will kill you. And going for your dreams without any thought, plan, or guidelines will kill you. The idea here is risk mitigation. Don't give up on your dreams, but also chase after a wild goose without a chicken as a backup. So, to recap, work is unavoidable. Working with love and loving your work is the everlasting solution to your misery against labor. Joy and sorrow are like yin and yang, hot and cold, and black and white. One doesn't exist without the other. Always remember that when with one, the other is around the corner. Joy, sorrow. Okay, you want to stand up? Reason and passion. Don't give in completely to one or the other. If they're not balanced on the scales, they will both prove hopeless to you. This was great. I remember hearing the first few paragraphs and thinking to myself, oh God, what have I done? The language was arcane and practically incomprehensible, and I had no idea what he was going on about. But as he settled into his segments, framing the book as a prophet answering the questions of the people around him, I realized that this was going to be awesome. And it was. It is poetry, and it is arcane, so it takes some concentration and afterthought to bring each concept to light. He tackles each concept with awesome metaphors and wisdom, and it ends up being really inspirational and insightful. And I highly recommend it. And after buying it, of course, I found it for free. And you can check it out in some of the links that I will link. And label this free probably, so if you want to go check it out right now for free. And other than that, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. And we'll see you next week.